The following video is intended for general audiences. It may contain coarse language, bad puns, suggestive images, and bad advice. It probably just contains retro computer crap. But don't try this at home, even if I tell you to.
Testy test. Okay, it's showing me I'm online. Better mute that before that becomes a problem. Cool. Alright, I think that'll do. Let me just paste something into the chat. It's on YouTube. Best EDM videos? What the hell is an EDM video? What are you doing? Stop! Stupid thing. I'm glad you can't see my screen. Let's see here, my videos. There we go. Oh, for God's sake, YouTube. I think I'm not allowed to swear on this one, right? Okay, there it is, finally. Grr. Alright, and pardon me for a sec. Alright, there we go. I think there's a mute button over there I can use for cough, but meantime... Okay, there we go. So, what we are doing today. This is my solar cell project, and in the chat there you will see a link to the original build where I used this solar powered garden light setup to wow, I gotta remember to watch the live stream if I want to see what's going on. The solar powered garden string setup to backlight Tron picture I've got of Sela, and it kind of was, I had two problems with the build. The first was that it was too bright. I needed to turn it down a bit. So in the video you'll see I glued a potentiometer into the back of the case, and well, sure enough, the Gorilla Glue also locked the pot in place. So pulled that out and just soldered a resistor in place. I think you can see that. However, today I got some trimmer pots. So the project is to simply replace the resistor with the trimmer, glue the trimmer down to the case so it looks a little more decent, and then we can just adjust it with a screwdriver until we're happy with it. That was the first problem, and not a big one, just a time delay one. I didn't check the pinout on these damn things. Yeah, it's just what you'd expect. Okay. So that's the first one. The second one, of course, was a little more insidious, and I don't have a solution for that yet, and that is that this solar cell charges the internal battery perfectly well in the sunlight. It's not mounted in the sunlight. It's mounted in my living room. In fact, it's mounted opposite the balcony window, which I thought would be adequate, but it turns out it's not, because the, you have a box room like this. Where's the camera? There we go. Box room like this. The sun's coming in over here, and it goes and doesn't make it to this wall. So, yeah, after 3 days, the battery was dead. So, what we're going to do today, first, we're going to install the trimmer. That's the easy and obvious thing. The second thing I'm going to do is I charged it up fully the day before yesterday. And today, I'm just going to pop it open and see what the battery is down to after 1 day. And that will let me make some decisions. Okay, so you can see the nice, neat, ugly, horrible, disgusting hole that I burned with the soldering iron for the original pot, which didn't work. Yay. By the way, I am super jealous of people like Big Clive and them who have proper rigs for doing this sort of thing, because that must be friggin' nice. It's a bit of a hacky, hack guy. Hacker pants. There we go. I just sort of set up wherever I'm sitting at the time, and setting up a camera and trying to get light. As you can tell, light was a big deal. In fact, I didn't solve it. I just got tired of fiddling with it and turned on the light on my headset. Anyway, it must be really nice to have a place that's both comfortable to work, well lit, and filmable. I realize that's 3 things and not 2, but hey. We have computers to count for us these days. Also, I don't expect anybody to actually come and watch this, but I wanted to, I don't know, I had this funny idea when I moved that I would start filming the projects I work on, just for the fun of filming them. and it didn't work out. I ended up taking a job instead. Oh, kind of dumb, right? It could have been YouTuber. YouTube. All right, so first thing I want to do, can you see that? Can you see it better if I do that? Oh, you can, but it's upside down for you. So do I make it right side up for you so you can read it, or upside down for me? Oh, whatever. I can read it on the live stream. So we want to see, this battery should go to 1.2 volts. After 24 hours of operation, what is it down to? Oh, half. Yeah, that's not good. That's 700.7 volts, basically. Okay, so, yeah. Darn it. Well, I do have two of these things. I mean, I could string the solar cells together and see if two of them together will charge that battery. Or I could order a bigger solar cell off Amazon, solder that in. I'm just kind of sad because the ability to slot into the case here. Where's the camera? There we go. The ability to slot into the case here was just really nice. I just slide it on. Done. Anything else is going to be bigger and uglier. Not that leftover Gorilla Glue isn't ugly. At least it's not in my hair. Oh, I'm sorry, is that mean? It's probably mean. Okay, anyway. So, yeah, battery, one day. Sad face. Okay, so what do we got here? So we're just going to basically desolder that resistor and put the trimmer in its place. Now, there's not too much we have to do. I mean, Big Clive and all them would take the circuit apart for you and all that crap, but I'm not Mr. Clive. But I'll show you the basics here. Let's see if I can get this up to the camera so you can see. Can you see? I can't tell if you can see. It doesn't look focused to me. I don't know if it can focus up close. It's not a very good camera. Anyway, whatever. Two little tabs here for the solar cell input. The solar cell will give, in this case, when it was really bright, I measured it at just over 2 volts. We've got a couple batteries here, or wires here for the battery, which is this rechargeable nickel metal hydride. We got power switch. We got a mode select switch because this thing can blink and pulse and everything else. I just want it to stay on, of course, but blah. Little microcontroller to do all the heavy lifting for you. And not a hell of a lot else. There'll be some passives on the back to manage the charge circuit, I hope. Otherwise the system's going to explode when I put a bigger solar cell on it. Well, it might not, but you know what I mean. It's bad news. There should be a diode to prevent backfeed. That could be this guy here. There's no real way for me to know without taking it apart. And since the circuit board is mounted in with melted plastic, I don't want to take it out because I actually want to use this thing. All right, there's your lesson for the day. Is everybody happy now? You can look up solar cell circuits on YouTube if you like. On YouTube, on anything if you like. Whatever. Irritating. Alright, what are we going to do here? How are we going to mount this thing? So let's try and figure that out. First, mechanics is not my forte. I know, you're shocked. Sideways, up. So this mounts sideways on the frame. So the picture's here. So that would be straight out from the edge of the picture. That would be down at the bottom of the picture. And that would be up at the top. The other thing I'm noticing is, of course, the hole is so gosh darned big. It's just going to be a right pain in the butt to glue that in place. But glue it I shall, because this unit is sealed, and so as long as I can keep the glue off the screw, it should hold just fine. Alright, so we're going to bend these leads so that they go in. Now we're just going to drop it in like that, I think. I can still push the buttons. Yeah, I can still push the buttons. Good enough, anyway. How bad is that look? Well, it's got these little feet that's going to make gluing it tricky, too. I think we're just going to, fill the hole with Gorilla Glue and leave it overnight and see what happens in the morning. Worst comes to worst, I do have a second one. Yeah, and if I leave it, oh gosh, this is going to be so hard to get right. I am doubting myself so much right now. Anyway, yeah. Let's do the part I do know how to do first. That would be the electrical. And we will figure out the mounting after that. I think I'm just going to do what I'm planning to do, but it's kind of scaring me. I'm going to have to put it face down and balance it somehow. So, wow. Yeah. Well, it's too bad the world's not made of silly putty, you know? I could just sink it into the silly putty. Oh, and my camera's tangled up with the soldering iron. Always lovely to route a hot soldering iron. Don't burn yourself and all that fun stuff. Okay, here we go. Is this on the camera? No, it's not. Ugh. Where are you, camera view? There you are. Not that it's in focus, so you really can't tell, so I probably shouldn't even care. Anyway, put on my sight. Goggles of sight, these were once called. I don't know if you probably can't see me. Hopefully you don't see too much of my fat head. There we go. Okay, that resistor, well, technically it's reusable. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it is probably going to go in the trash, because it is just not worth recycling. Just a little bit of carbon, add it back into the world, or it'll probably burn and become carbon in the air, which will be a horrible, terrible thing. The world sucks. Alright, so let's get these wires and route them through the hole. Okay, get as much through there as I can. Sort of put this back together briefly, temporarily. Okay. Now, I don't know actually what the resistance of this thing is, so let's put the meter back on. Put it into ohms. 20K sounds good. And spin the thingy around so you can see it. And I have to watch the live stream. Let's see here. So we'll go end to end. And we get 10K. I think I remember that they were 10K. And we'll go end to wiper. And that one's at 6, right around the middle. Ooh. Alright, so we don't care about end to end for this circuit. We just want end to wiper anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and clip one of these leads right off. Well, that figures. I saw the clippers and I thought, I won't need those. But I was wrong. I don't even know where the heck they are. Join me now on an audio adventure as you listen to me rummage through my tools drawer in a completely different room. Aha! Well, these are my oldest ones too. Okay, so the quiz at the end of the course will be, can you identify 5 of the tools you heard rattling around there? And we'll see how good you really are. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove one of these leads because I don't need it. Okay, ta-da! I'm going to leave the other 2 like that. We're just going to tin them so that the solder will join to the wires more easily. Oh, this is such a bad setup. That's off camera, isn't it? You know what else? It's not 3 in the morning. I can turn on the smoke absorber. No fumes! Oh no, how will I live without the solder fumes? I guess technically it's flux, right? The solder doesn't burn. Solder's lead and tin. Yes, I'm using leaded solder. I'm so evil. All part of my evil plan. Okay, that'll probably do. Now, come back over here. How are these wires looking? Disgusting, that's how they're looking. Just the way I like them. Okay, good, good. Let's see here. I don't know which is which, but it doesn't really matter. Resistor don't got no polarity. Let's put the Big ass thick one on the outside. The tricky part with this sort of thing is your mechanical connection. You know, can you get everything to stay still until the solder melts and hold still until it hardens? Very tough to get right. Very easy to screw up. Looks pretty good though. It doesn't look like it's going to pop off. I kind of wish I'd put some shrink wrap on there. I think I will, in fact. I mean, I got this fancy friggin' thing of all kinds of shrink wraps, and I never use it. And I think I even know where it is. This is going to be a recurring theme for my presentations, isn't it? Me getting up and hunting through my crap for something that I know where it is, and I really should have gotten it before I started. Oh well, you love me. You don't even know me. You've probably never watched me before. Alright, can you identify 2 retro computers I touched during that hunt? That was a trick question. There were no retro computers. But there could have been. Okay, this is better. Let's see here. Some shrinky wrappy. Yeller? Ooh, yeller may work. Yeller's a little thick though. Let's use blue. There we go. We just want a small piece of it. Okay. Push that right on down out of the way. This will eliminate my other concern, which was, oh my gosh, it's going to short, isn't it? And then I get to start all over again. Alright, there we go. Vision down. That's my magnifier. Line it up. Try and get good mechanical connection. And heat. Okay, hope it stays. Alright, inspect. You know, unsurprisingly it was better the first time. Dagnabbit. I think we just need some more solder on there. Doo-doo-doo. There we go. Still on the camera? Not really. How about there? Better? Yeah. Oh, that's melting better. Okay. Got her. Got her. Good. Alright. Now let's do the same thing, but with the thinner wire. You might be asking yourself, well, why are the wires different thicknesses? And the answer is because Mike is cheap. And Mike just used what he had handy. To be brutally honest, I don't know how much current is actually running through those wires, and that's your main concern. However, the resistance is cranked up so high, I'm not terribly worried. Plus, you know, I ran it for 3 nights already with the old resistance, and the resistance is going to be higher still when I'm done. I think we'll be alright. If we're not, well, it's not going to do very much. Self-destruct maybe, but that would be the worst, I think. Well, one can hope anyway. Don't do things the way I do, guys. Do it right. Alright, got some extra solder on there. And I say solder, not solder. Alright. Got some solder on there. Ha, fooled you. Alright, now, get the orientation right, so the wires don't come out too twisted. Let me get that out of my hands so I don't burn myself while I'm positioning this. Cook. Because humans have only 2 hands and not 3, you need at least one piece to stay still. 3 hands? Soldering would be so easy. Alright. Inspect. Not on it exactly where I wanted it to be on, but it has got more than enough connected. Alright, now the fun part. Let's make the shrinky dinks work. Anyone here young enough to know shrinky dinks? I knew you would. Young enough, old enough. I don't know anything, do I? Alright. So to do that, we are going to switch the buzzy thingy from suck to blow. As soon as I can untangle that heat element, and preferably without dislodging the camera. So yes, right now it is on suck to suck up smoke. And now we're going to turn the smoke absorber off, and turn on the rework, and now we blow. I don't know what it takes to melt these things. It's set to 90 right now. Let's turn that off. Let's see if that's enough. It might be. But I'm not satisfied. That one. More, make it hotter. Shrink. Come on, heat shrink. You got hot air blowing all over you. Presumably quite a lot. I can see you're doing something. Okay, let's flip it over. Now watch my fingers, this will scald. No, so it's actually working. It is working, right? Oh yeah, it's working. I remember it working better in the past, though. Maybe the temperature was higher still. Take it up to 200. That yellow may have been too thick even for that little wire. But as long as it covers, I guess I don't care too much, eh? Covers and doesn't move, that is. I suppose it's shrinking. Yeah, I shouldn't be blowing onto the hose, should I? Ooh, that's toasty. Alright, good enough. Turn off, and now it will blow for a little bit while it cools. Inspect what we got there. It's not going anywhere, I think. It's pretty soft still. Good. Alright. So now, a moment of truth. I have to, I mean, I have to test it, kinda, don't I? I'm gonna turn this thing off. Turn that. Oh, I can't turn that down now. I can turn the soldering iron off, though. Don't need you anymore. Let's see. So. Get that out of the way. Close up the box of heat tube. And now we just gotta figure out how I'm gonna mount that. I'm thinking, it's already closed. Get the solder. Let's roll the solder up too. Good. The hot air is done. Alright, so let's see here. Go ahead and push you back in. it's like I want to just sort of mount it as best I can without interfering with the buttons. I shouldn't have turned it off. Now the mode's all messed up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fingers crossed. Okay, that's good. I won't really be able to adjust the brightness until later, but I suppose I could still pop it up top and we can do a quick test, eh? With only half the battery still active, I don't know how well the test is going to work. I know how one thing we can do, though. I wonder if video cameras like UV light. Because you know what solar cells do. So let's put the UV torch on the solar cell and just give it a brief supercharge. I don't know how long to do this for. Doo-da, doo-da, probably longer than I care to sit. Oh, doo-da day. Be easier to just put a friggin' one, AA battery in there. Or, you know what, I bet this thing would run for weeks off a D cell. There's room in there, I think, for... Well, there's not really room for a C, is there? If I could squeeze a D in there, though, it would be pretty cool. Just disconnect the solar cell and just run the circuit. But, part of my excitement with this project was being able to run the whole thing off of solar power, and I was like, yay! Self-recharging and all that. That's as long as I'm going to bother. Okay, so, with that done, well, the first thing we should see is that it should actually be on, so let's go ahead and we'll bring it up onto the stand so we can look at it. Alright, or look at part of it because it ain't gonna fit. Oh no, I accidentally popped the case open. Darn it. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, good. Alright. So, technically it should be on right now. But of course we can't see it because it is attenuated way too much. So the first thing to do, besides getting this dumb thing back together, I should probably put a screw in it. In fact, I think I will. I don't think I've got any need to go back into the case right now. Oh, well, for the glue. That's right. Well, do that separate. I'm going to have to do the glue part off camera anyway, because I'm not going to leave it in here. I need my desk. I'm going to put it in the kitchen, where if I had a wife, I would get in big trouble. But I don't, so I'll be fine. Okay, good. Now you can't see anything at all, can you? We'll fix that in a moment. I need a flat. There we go. Alright, change out the screwdriver. And we're going to just tune the potentiometer on here and try and get it to max brightness, just so we can see it's working. If indeed it is. I'm having trouble actually getting in there. Oh, there we go. I have no idea how many turns this thing is. But it's not infinite. I don't even know which way to turn it. Well, that ain't teaching me jack. Said Mike. I can't measure the resistance now that it's in circuit, of course. Can I measure the voltage drop across it? Where'd I put the meter? There we go. Because even if it's not enough to light the LEDs, I think we should see something across it. Let's see. Back to 200 volts. Put the light on again. Let's put it. Try not to mar the image. Should put some paper on it or something. There we go. Nothing better than that. Some hot pink glow paper, anyone? Haha. Now we're talking. Alright, so let's see. Probes, where'd you go? And I'm just putting them across the two leads I soldered to see if they read anything at all. Seems like it's trying to. Sometimes. But not often enough that I believe it. Well, I'll believe it if it goes negative now that I swapped them. If I could get a stable connection, which I can't. Well, bah. Idea. I got a whole set of those things. Let's get another one. We'll measure it and figure out which way is which. Okay, drop those back in there. All right, another one. So, let's see. Oh yeah, there's just half a volt just flying around in the air, isn't it? It's probably static off my fingers. All right, let's see here. That's voltage. Now we don't want voltage. We want current. We know it's 10K, so we'll switch over to there, turn the light back on. And even though this will be a little hard for you to see, I need to connect to the middle and one end. Alright, and that looks like from my side 5.9. Yep. Now we're going to turn the screw clockwise. Oh, for goodness sake. Turn the screw clockwise and fall off. It's perfect. You stay there. You stay there. Okay. 5.69. Turn the screw clockwise. Clockwise is lower resistance, and holy crap, it goes slow. How many turns is this darn thing? Alright, and counterclockwise predictably increases resistance. Alright. So yeah, the old resistor that I pulled off was 100 ohms. So this is not a lot of useful range. Okay, clockwise was lower. Let's keep going clockwise. I don't know if it ever stops. I guess I should have checked that, eh? I mean, does it eventually hit a stop, or does it just fall off, or what does it do? I guess we're not going to see it light up. The battery's too weak, which means I need to deal with that as well. I hear ticking, but that's my screwdriver. What if... Oh, well, it can't turn on at the same time as it's charging, so... Darn. Let's see. Look, it's working. Sort of. You can only just sort of barely see it flickering. Flashlight on, charging the solar cell. Flashlight off. Circuit should be on. I can't see anything. Let's toggle the mode. Actually, let's turn out the lights so we can see it happen. Looks like it's got enough juice to run a little bit. Oh, and the light of my monitors, of course. Well, fine, let's turn those off too. Then I won't be able to see anything, but hey, you know, why would I want to? Okay, yeah, you can totally see that it is glowing. And I think it's even in the right mode. I don't know why it was flickering earlier, though. 1, okay, we can see it shimmering a bit. 2, 3, 4, that's obvious. 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be on steady full. Okay, so we don't need this on anymore. Apparently I turned that the wrong way. There we go. I'm going to turn this off. All we got is that. I don't know if you can see anything at all. I can barely see anything. And cameras are not as good as the eye. But, you know, there's some glow there, so whatever. I wish it were a little darker so I could calibrate this properly, but I'm just going to take a stab at it. It's probably dumb to take a stab at it when it's not charged. If I can find that tiny screw in the dark. Not so far. Found it. Okay, counterclockwise. Should start growing dimmer. I see it getting dimmer. That's a good thing. Now we're running into a problem. This is forever going to be a challenge. So the one thing I didn't tell you guys. Where's that light coming from? What is shining on that? Oh, wow, we're being illuminated by the camera light. Alright, I'm going to start putting lights back on. I'm going to wrap this up anyway. The one thing I didn't tell you guys is behind the lights is a piece of glow paper, much like this one, but not pink, which these garden lights actually charge. What this means is when the light goes away, the paper keeps glowing for a while. So it's really pretty hard to tell whether the glow is the paper or the lights. That is a challenge I will have to face longer term. The whole point of putting the trimmer on here was so I could come up on an ideal night, look at it and say, that's too bright, or that's too dim, and adjust it. And if it doesn't adjust then, well then I know, right? Anyway, that's enough screwing around for today. I accomplished what I wanted to do, and it's, I think this has been a pretty long run. I don't even know if I'm still streaming, to be honest. I see that Twitch has gotten pissy and disconnected, so maybe I'm not. It doesn't matter if I'm not. You won't hear these words. So as soon as my computer comes back on, I'm going to terminate. And the computer is back on. Good night. Oh, I lied. I have to find OBS first. There it is. It's still happy. Good night.